Alright, what is going on, Guardians? It's your boy Wyatt, aka Wombo Combo, and today I'm going to be showing off one of my favorite builds in the game currently with Void 3.0. I call this build the 1-minute Nova Bomb, and you'll see why. I didn't mean to chuck my grenade, but it's fine, don't worry, I'm going to get it back pretty quickly. You will see that here in a moment, so... basically, what got me wanting to do this video was my buddy Jack and I were talking the other day about what, like, our favorite builds were of all time, right? Like, in the game, what do we love to run the most? And then, for me, it was kind of a tough choice between Solar Titan with the hammers. Obviously, the hammer build is pretty ridiculous, and this build here. And I ultimately decided that this was probably my favorite build, just because the hammers is so, you know, it's just so basic. Like, hammers are so OP, and they're so good, like, it's understandable if it's your favorite, but, like, for me, I prefer my 1-minute Nova Bomb build. I think it's a little unique. As you can see, I already have my Nova Bomb back. And I love the Void Explosions. Void Explosions go burr. It just really appeals to the power fantasy for me. Like, I just love... getting infinite uptime on all of your abilities, grenade, melee, rift. It's just insane. So it's probably my favorite build in the game. And I will go over what exactly I use in the build to show you guys kind of how you can make this same build. It's really great. You actually don't need a lot of mods, so don't worry about that. Like, if you don't have the slots in your armor, maybe your gear's not masterworked, not a huge deal. You don't need a ton of mods to make this build work. I will go over my mods, but just keep in mind that they're not essential to the build. Also, ignore my Glimmer. I just had to buy a bunch of raid banners, so I am now Glimmer broke. But I'll get that number back up. So, first things first, obviously we're running Void Walker on Warlock. Healing Rift, Burst Glide, Pocket Singularity, and I run Vortex Grenade. For our aspects, we're going to run Child of the Old Gods. This thing is insane. It's just such a helpful little sucky ball. That's what I call it, sucky ball. Sucky ball applies a debuff to all enemies that it attaches to, so not only do you do more damage to them, but while it's sucking on them, grenade and melee energy recharge quicker. Defeating a target who is being drained by your Void Soul grants class ability energy. So you gain grenade and melee energy and class ability energy. It's great. And it also plays into our next one, which is Feed the Void or Devour. If you get a kill with Child of the Old Gods or any Void ability, grenade or melee, you get Devour, which makes you practically invincible. That's part of what I love about this build as well, is that you're basically invincible. As long as you keep shredding through ads, which it's very easy to do with this build, you're essentially unkillable because you will always be at full health. And then in terms of fragments, Echo of Remnants, your lingering grenade effects for this purpose, Vortex Grenade lasts longer. Echo of Reprisal, this is the important one. This is how you get the 1-minute Nova Bomb. Final blows when surrounded by combatants grant super energy. Now that's a big deal because how often are you not surrounded by combatants? If it's a dungeon or a raid or whatever, like, this build pretty much works in any endgame content. So this is a great one to have on. Defeating targets with grenades grants volatile rounds to your void weapons. Huge. It also gives you plus 10 strength, which is nice. But this is a huge part of the build. Obviously, you want to run a Void weapon of some sort. I personally run a Void SMG, the Unforgiven, and we'll go over my build on that in a minute. It has great synergy, super great synergy with this build. That's Echo of Instability. And then Echo of Expulsion, Void ability final blows cause targets to explode. This one's pretty simple. Void explosions go burr. They make brain go burr. The Void Explosions are just awesome, super, super cool. It's fun watching an entire wave or room of ads just explode and make others explode, and it also gives you plus 10 intellect, which obviously helps get the 1-minute Nova Bomb back even quicker, so that's nice. And then in terms of the weapon, you want to run a Void weapon of some sort. It can be an SMG, an auto rifle, a trace rifle, anything that puts out a lot of damage really quickly, because you want to proc volatile rounds is kind of the idea. And then the role that I have on this Unforgiven, what makes it so good, is Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie. Demolitionist, kills with this weapon generate grenade energy, and activating your grenade ability reloads this weapon. Then Adrenaline Junkie, this weapon gains increased damage and handling from final blows with grenades, or this weapon, but mostly our grenades. So if you get a grenade kill, you get Adrenaline Junkie times 5. Now this thing is putting out huge damage. Demolitionist, when you get kills, you're getting your grenade back. And on top of that, we get our abilities back super quickly because of our exotic helmet, which I'll go over in a minute as well. And then once we have our grenade, we throw it to reload the weapon, and now we're rocking Adrenaline Junkie times 5 again. We have a huge damage buff. So it's just, the synergy on this thing is just so great. I love this SMG. It's probably my favorite SMG for PvE in the game. And then for our build, we're going to use Nezarec Sin. So keep in mind, this is void damage kills. That's why we also want to use a void SMG of some sort, or a void weapon of some sort. It's not just void abilities, it's void damage kills. So huge part of the build. And then in terms of mods, like I said, they're not super important, but they are all super helpful. Reaping Wellmaker, Well of Utility, Well of Tenacity, which is great. You pick up a Void Well and you get resist, so you take less damage. Huge. Elemental Ordnance, when we throw a grenade, we make Void Wells. And then another Well of Utility. Double Well of Utility makes it so every time you pick up a well, you get your Rift back quicker. And then Reaping Wellmaker, after activating your Rift, your next weapon, Final Blow, spawns a Void Well. So it's just great synergy. Like, you use your Rift, get a kill with your weapon, use your grenade, you get Volatile Rounds, Adrenaline Junkie, then you pick up the well that you just made. You have Well of Utility, so you get your Rift back quicker. You also get a well from throwing your grenade. Now you're having resist up. Like, it has great synergy all in all. But I will show you guys again kind of how it works all together. So basically just run into a room, hang out with all the ads, say what up to them, you know, come give them a hug, ask how they're doing. They're doing great. You know, everything's fantastic. Throw my melee, drop a rift, just start kind of mowing through these guys. Throw another grenade, we already have one back. Get out Child of the Old Gods, start getting some void explosions going. We already have another rift, pick up your well. Now you have resist. Still have volatile rounds procced as well, so I'm shredding through everything that comes in my path. It's just insane. I just love this build. It's just so much fun. Throw our nade, pick up a well, start mowing through ads. And we pretty much have our Nova Bomb back. If we pick up this orb, we will. Yep. So that is the 1 minute Nova Bomb build, everybody. I appreciate you stopping by and checking this out. Definitely go give it a try if you haven't. I just love this build. Personally, one of my favorite builds in the game. There's just something about it that, you know, it's just super appealing. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you stopping by and watching, and I will catch you next time. Peace.